Today is November 19th, 2024. I am making this video to be an add-on for yesterday's video. Yesterday's video talked about things that are going on throughout the world, as well as this country, that could be meant to underhand or undermine the progress that President-elect Trump is so far making. Excuse me. One being the administration allowing the Ukraine to use long-range U.S. missiles to strike within Russia. Not even 24 hours later, this actually happened. It went into effect. You had Ukraine striking, attempted to strike numerous different targets within Russia, successfully striking a ammunition depot. And Russia has already came out and said that any provocation or use of such weapons would be as if that country, meaning that if there were American-made products that were used to strike within Russia, Russia would view it as if U.S. was doing it on its own. And the Russian response is that their nuclear doctrine is going to be revamped, meaning they're going to restructure what we considered a threat for the use of either tactical nukes or conventional nuclear weapons. And this is definitely concerning. Sweden and I believe Finland to date have warned their citizens to start stockpiling items. It's very, very big necessity in these countries to start food, self-defense items, clothes for winter, baby food, medical gear. This is what they're prepping their citizens for. Is a lot of fear porn? It could be, but it is the duty of the country to keep their citizens safe, and by telling them to prepare is definitely a smart idea. Excuse me. Sorry, I am getting over a cold, so that's why I sound a little hoarse, and I do apologize for that. So there are things that are going on overseas that can have impact influence here, especially with Donald Trump winning and the willingness to end wars abroad has seemed to be the theme. Hamas is looking to end and resolve all issues there. Israel's looking to resolve issues, as well as in Europe. Just bear with me one second. Fix the internet here. Am I coming in good? Can everybody see me? If I'm coming in good, write 5x5 from me, because I want to make sure that I'm getting the best picture for you guys. All right, good. So, saying there's a lot of motion that was put forward, whether that be RFK trying to get some of the nasty chemicals and additives out of our food. And there's been a lot of forward move. Now seems to be a lot of pushback being brought against it. And this one of it. The Biden administration is really hell-bent. We know it's not him making these decisions. It's his puppet masters, if not Kamala and Obama doing it. And they're really going to cause a lot of an uphill battle when it comes to Trump having to now deal with this. This is a lot of hot tempers that are getting out of hand as a result of a irresponsible decision as far as the Biden administration is concerned. And it is concerning, but as I've said before, one hand is doing something, watch for the sleight of hand in the other, and we're seeing that. Last week, President Trump came out and said that he's going to declare national emergency to use the military to remove all of our illegal tenants that are, and I'm for it and against it. Reasons why I'm for it, because now you're freeing up. Law enforcement really needs to concentrate on the crime going on in some of these blue cities. I believe yesterday in my home state of New York City, you had one individual going on a stabbing spree on 3 separate instances. I believe I have 3 people. I don't know if they are dead or alive, but nonetheless, it's crime is so out of control. You have police officers not wanting to keep or take this job. And they are causing an issue with that. Like this job that they're offered is coming with loaded, unwanted attention for them. That they're getting long hours. I mean, when I was on rotations on an AMP crew, it was a 12-hour tour. That's what we signed up for. but a lot of these guys are getting hell doubles, triples, and they're not seeing their fans. It's causing a lot of psychological and emotional distress, and a lot of people don't want to get that job just because of it's not worth the benefits. It's not worth the pay. And you're seeing that in EMS, you're seeing that in law enforcement. For those of you that do not know, EMS is emergency medical service, and you're seeing that across the board where people don't want to take these civil service jobs, regardless of the benefits, because of now of the risk involved. Um, and I think that is very, very concerning. And something to add on from yesterday, this is why you need to know how to fix. What do I mean by boo boo? You need to know how to stop a bleed. You know how to use a tourniquet. You need to know how to do CPR. You need to know how to provide pre-hospital care to yourself or a loved one or a stranger in order to survive. I've been watching a lot of EMS, emergency service videos, emergency medical service videos, where there's car accidents that are happening and there was no pre-hospital interventions done until the first responders respond, and it is causing a drastic diminished chance for that person to live to survive. Um, Most recently was a cop in Queens, New York, and I was reading up on that story in the newspaper. It appears that he was shot in the stomach. There was no wound packing done. There was no dressing of the wound, putting an occlusive dressing on it. There was nothing. There was nothing done other than let's wait for an ambulance, and it was a very grim outcome. He succumbed to his injuries. I'm not saying, and I'm not trying to bring quarterback and stir emotion with that. If this would have been done, he'd still be alive. I don't know the answer to that, but what I can tell you is that you're giving that person the additional chance to survive when you do the hospital interventions. And with the response time down with law enforcement and emergency medical service, it is the probability of that person surviving is going down, and it's concerning. And from a policing aspect, if you want to, I see somebody, former Phantom put in that police recruiting numbers are down nationwide. So let's talk about that. I was looking up the FBI statistics for that. When you have taken away the response time or the powers of police officers, you are now causing people to have to take matters into their own hands, whether that be self-defense, this, that, or the other. It is causing the average person cannot do that. They cannot fathom that they might have to protect their life. They cannot fathom that this is happening. The Lake and Riley trial is on as we're speaking, and this could have completely been avoided. One, by not having the borders wide open, and two, a whole bunch of things. So back to the basics of what I've been saying, bullets, beans, and band-aids are the way to go. You should be leaving your house every day and have some sort of self-defense item, whether it's a legally owned and licensed firearm, whether that be a knife, whatever is legal in your area. Don't start saying, oh, city prepper said to do this. I'm not telling you to do that. If it's not legal, make sure it is legal to carry what it is you're carrying. I personally have a whole bunch of items that I do depending on the environment that I'm going to. At the very least, I usually have some sort of tactical folding knife. A Leatherman is always good. Come with a knife. You can always say it's for dual purpose. And there's other situations where other things are applicable. Like you need to have a way of defending yourself, or at least your loved ones. You should also have some sort of an IFAC, a first aid kit. Again, plugging my own product on Etsy right now, as of right now, because we do not have the website up yet. I do offer two different types of IFACs. You have the basic tactical, and you have the travel ouch pouch. Both come with items that are essential for stopping a bleed and giving yourself the ability to prolong your life, the life you're trying to save, before there is professional medical intervention. These are the things that you should start looking into. Pre-COVID, you were able to get number 10 cans of August and or whatever long-term survival food you wanted to have under $5. Now they're between $10 and $30 depending on what you're getting. The buckets used to be of food used to be anywhere between 70. Now they're going for 125 to $200. Things are more expensive. They're going to try to say it was a supply chain issue, this, that, and the other. It's simply not that. It's supply and demand, and they have the supply, and we're in the demand. There are alternatives to making long-term food storages, and just look up canning, jarring. There's ways to do it. But as I've said before, it is never too late to start prepping, but you are at a severe disadvantage. You're getting into the game now, especially on the food and medical aspect. A lot of these things they've made almost illegal or obsolete to get. And again, this is not medical advice. The different fish antibiotics, they are very similar to human antibiotics. When there was a whole trend of people going and buying fish antibiotics, they started making options on buying with that, a whole bunch of things. Ivermectin, they said, which is was used to help horses, was curing, if not removing, COVID from the body, and along other supposedly health benefits. Again, not medical advice, but when you wait to the last minute, your options are not going to be there. So if you're starting to get in on the bullets aspect of it, you're either A, you're not going to be able to find what you're looking for, or you're going to be paying at a higher premium. The band-aids portion of it, you're not going to be able to find certain things, or you'll be paying at a premium. Same thing goes for the long-term food storage. You're going to be paying at a premium. And now with the risk of nuclear war or all-out hot war in Europe, it is a chance for things to go south, and everyone's going to be buying up these things. That's why I stressed it beyond what I can say, that you need to be prepared for this stuff. Having a means of self-defense, having a means of medical post initial care, long-term care. You have the ability to do all these things. Long-term food, renewable food. The minute you start opening those long-term food storage cans, that's when you're putting a time on your life. Because if you're eating your 20-year shelf life food, you do not, I mean, everything else is gone, and you don't have the ability to renew it. So you need to have seeds. You need to know how to cultivate those seeds. Practice it. Go to the store right now. Tomatoes and like jalapeno peppers are relatively easy to grow indoors, and start learning how to do that. Start germinating the seeds and growing it from a seed to a tree to have fruit paired off of it. Excuse me. And you need to be able to know how to do that, know how to practice it, know how to correct things, because there's going to be things that go wrong. Watering it too much, you're not watering enough. You need to know how to correct that and effectively to grow that plant to its potential. I know when I was growing jalapeno peppers inside, it was getting on the plant because it's not getting direct outdoor sunlight, so that caused issues with the plant. I was able to grow enough jalapenos to give myself a peppered sandwich, but other than that, I had to get rid of it because I didn't know how to effectively deal with that. You should learn how to do these things. And while you have the time to practice, those are the times you should be taking advantage of. If there is a local range near your house, go practice that. There is CPR first aid classes near you, go to those, because it is an opportunity for you to learn a life-saving skill, as well as getting hand practice for those. Same thing goes with the long-term food storage. Learn to dehydrate, learn how to jar. Practice that now. They're fun ideas for you and your family to use. I mean, what better way than to bring a house full of teens or preteens and your loved ones together than have a whole day of making sauce and jarring it for the future. It's a way for people to grow and communicate and to talk and to really learn about her, and you're obtaining a goal at the same time. These are the things that you'd be doing. The whole martial law aspect of today's conversation, as I was talking about a little earlier, if Donald Trump has a emergency where he utilizes the National Guard and the military to remove um, illegal tenants that we have. You're having a lot, whether it's AOC. There was a few different politicians today getting on their soapbox saying how we agree that undocumented is bad. The only way to handle them is to give them documents. That's not, no, that's not that. You kick them out and let them do it the legal way like everyone else has. So, I do see a lot of pushback and a lot of Soros money going into pushing back, whether that be civil unrest, whether that be a whole bunch of issues. But and it's still not off the table that the congressmen, the Democratic congressmen and women, are going to not certify the vote come January 6th, and there is potential. There's numerous different outlets for potential for civil unrest. And I think you need to be prepared for that. And this is not fear porn. This is not, oh, you're just getting everybody riled up. I'm not. This is in the news. This is in the news right now on any news outlet, whether that's CNN, Fox News, MSNBC. They're all talking about how Ukraine used American-made missiles to strike a depot in Russia, and how Russia is getting ready to give a response to that. And they're all talking about the different countries, Sweden, Finland, warning their citizens about the potential for major war. So you need to be prepared. I will be telling this message as long as this channel is up. You need to be prepared. Because of me being sick, I did not do a video on Dark Knight Medics last week. Tomorrow and Thursday, I will be putting up videos on Dark Knight Medics about conventional and unconventional uses for pre-hospital interventions. We'll break down the kits on Dark Knight Medic. The travel ouch pouch, which is this. This is selling for $18.99 on Etsy. It comes with a whole bunch of goodies in there. And this is the basic tactical first aid kit. That is on Etsy. This is selling on Etsy. I think I have a sale on it right now, $60 or $59, $58. And shipping is flat rate. So these are the things you need to start looking at, whether it's through Dark Knight Medics or any other company. You need to have the ability to fix a problem before it gets worse. That goes for all aspects of life. A stitch in time saves 9, as a teacher used to say to us. Meaning, if you just do one stitch now, you won't have to do all the stitching to save the button. And that is no truer words for what's going on in our world today. There's a trial of a former Marine in New York City, where a gentleman was irate, threatening to kill people. He restrained him. The individual died. And there were more police officers on the trains. Could that have been avoided? Yes. The unchecked, unstopped mental disorders running around the streets of Manhattan was put into check. Could that have been stopped? Yes. If somebody started to do CPR, could that have been prevented that death? I don't know, but I will tell you that you would have given individual, regardless of how you feel, who he was as a person, you would have given that individual a fighting chance to survive. So unless you are a medical professional, you are not bound by having to help somebody. Myself, I have to. If I see somebody needing medical intervention, I have to act. It's part of my license as an EMT. So I have to act. And having a kit like this will help me help somebody in an instance like that. Same goes for each and every one of you. And a few of you that are on right now watching this live have purchased a kit, and there is things in that kit, whether it is the face shield for CPR, there's gloves in the kit. There are things that are available in almost every application, whether it be a bleed, whether it's CPR, whether it be, you name it. There's applications for everything in these kits. So you need to start looking. especially as the drain on infrastructure will continue to be an influx. I don't see it getting any better anytime soon. I think the hemorrhaging of finances is going to slow down, but unless there's a massive deportation like President Trump is talking about, you're going to have people here that are undocumented with no insurance putting a drain in our systems, so that the life-saving interventions will not be there as quickly, especially as crime continues to run rampant in these areas. So you need to be very mindful of your surroundings. You need to continue to watch both alternative and mainstream media to have a general consensus of what is going on in the world to plan accordingly. A lot of prepping channels are saying to get out of these big democratic cities. I wholeheartedly agree with that. If you are financially able to, and any ties to that area. Most people can't, including myself. I can't, for whatever my reasons are, leave the area I'm in right now. And I have to make the best of what I can. So I've necessary things I needed to do to ensure that my family is safe. And all I can do is leave it in God's hands and hope for the best. I don't want to continue rambling. I know I'm getting off topic, but major provocations are going Europe as we speak, and for the foreseeable future, at least the next 60 to 70 days, there is potential for the martial law on the horizon. Again, this is not meant to scare you. It is just simply stating the fact. If this emergency goes on and you start having troops going door to door to evict our illegal tenants, you're going to have emotions stirred and people fighting back. And I think that is a chance for disaster. But enough doom and gloom for today. If there are no other questions or concerns, I will be signing off for today. There are online training available through the Emergency Management. Are we still live? I think I lost every. Nope, I'm here. There are still there's training available, Emergency Management Institute provided by the government, and that is for free. Former Phantom, thank you for that. Guys, check that out. Good morning, Texas. How are you? All right, so there are no questions. I will be signing off. Guys, thank you very much. The link in the bio for the Etsy shop, Dark Knight Medics, is available. I'm also available for any comments, concern, and questions on cityprepper718 at protonmail.com. Guys, stay tuned for further, and please have a good day.